With its Up There podcast.
Welcome to It's Up There Podcast, your number one place for business and podcasting. Ranked number 36 in the motherfucking world. Sit back, turn up the volume on your phone, and enjoy the show with your homie and host, Big Loon.
Welcome to another episode of It's Up There Podcast. I am your active and attractive host for another episode of the fastest growing podcast on the market right now. We did peak at number 36 in the music category independently, which is always a beautiful thing to mention simply because the game is intended to break barriers. And so what we do from a business standpoint is understand that there's a difference between fans and customers. And also I was explaining to a young brother yesterday that the YouTube customer and the Patreon customer are two different customers. It's a way to massage both people. It's a way to get both people to engage with the product. And so just understanding that game and the value that I gave the young brother and all those people, they really appreciated me. Nonetheless, let's get into the show. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast and you're wondering where the video version went, again, I need you to head over to YouTube, type in FOGFO TV, It's Up There Podcast. There's two channels that'll pop up. The channel you need to subscribe to is the It's Up There Podcast, the one with the white background with the cartoon character. The other one, we're going to turn to FOGFO Live, in which we'll go live there instead of jeopardizing the place that all of our fans come and supporters come to hear the podcast every week. As you know, I spoke about last week what happened with the YouTube channel. Very interesting situation as we continue to gain intel on why that would be the circumstances surrounding a channel that had no strikes or no real violations from a policy standpoint. And I do know that I'm competition, and I do know that a lot of these podcasters are listening. I can guarantee it. I know this for a fact. It's being reported back to me. Certain moves, you know, when I say something, I see the move being made, right? And so what they're hoping is that more people don't listen, and we got more and more people that subscribing and messing with us. We also now we have again, go get you a piece of the merchandise right now. We doing cloth talk. Go to our Teesprings account and get you a piece of the It's Up There Podcast merchandise. It enters you into a drawing to be flew out to an interview that we're doing. I think it's with Lil Boosie, although we got a lot of them coming up. So go do that. Also, Patreon is about to kick off. Definitely about to build over there. We're talking with Charleston White about that and trying to get him to come over to Patreon with us on Saturdays for an episode. So just behind the scenes, putting the work in, you know, also still doing the OnlyFans and the prostitution and the sex workers type of conversations also on Patreon, and just making sure that they have a voice and somewhere to share experiences for the young girls to know what to do and what not to do. Cause I view that game as like the dope game, you know, and so the lack of information that we share with each other in regards to the safety of being in some of those circumstances could lead to life or death. So just important to, you know, go in and out about it and talk about it. What else do I want to tell y'all about? Oh, I wanted to come to y'all and tell y'all because I had a very traumatic experience with my pet, right? So you know, if people know me, know I never really had dogs, or only had dogs outside of properties only to, you know, warn you maybe that someone's out there, more so like from a protective standpoint. But we went and got a little dog, you know, his name's Mello. He's a little white dog. It's my guy, right? So he's all around the house and he's just spoiled, and, you know, I really bonded with Mello, you know, my little dude. So Mello runs to me. He always messes with me. What happened was we have a PetSmart in our area, and Mello has hair, right? Little fluffy dog, and he starts to we get him groomed here and there. So they took Mello up to the PetSmart to get Mello groomed. They dropped him off. Okay, we'll get it done. The first problem that was communicated to me, because see, I couldn't take him because I was doing other things. So certain things like that I can't have my hand on. I gotta just delegate this to someone in the family and y'all take care of that, right? So the first red flag was they dropped the dog off at 8 a.m. and I think the dog stayed to 4 p.m. Number one, that says there's a problem. Right, I would never drop my child off somewhere to get a haircut and it take that long. I'm just coming to get my kids. Something ain't right about that. It's just too much time. It's unreasonable, right? But I guess they didn't see no red flags with that. So she gets a call from PetSmart to say, "Hey, Mello hair is a little matted, and he tried to bite me." Take in mind, Mello is just now about to be 1 year old, so he's very small and he's teethed, and so he might grab you, but I promise you it feels less than when a little baby wraps their hand around your finger. You know how they do. Does not feel like a bite. Nonetheless, when they go and pick Mello up, all of Mello hair gone. Mello bald. And then Mello got scrapes on him, cuts on him, right? But the cuts come later, right? So Mello bald. I don't know this, right? I'm still doing stuff. So I get to the house and they break the news to me. Hey, we went and got Mello and they said he was matted and I want you to see him. And they brought him to me. I said, that ain't Mello. That ain't our dog. That ain't our dog. That ain't. Look totally different. They done shaved him down to bare minimum. Right? Now, first thing I said, they did that on purpose. Well, no, they said the hair was matted. I said, listen, we just bought a brush for Mello. We know for a fact the hair ain't matted. See, this is the thing about people. You got to understand what you know, man. You can't let nobody trick you off what you know. Listen, I just bought a brush to make sure that his hair ain't matted. In the discussion, was the hair matted? What happened was she felt like our dog tried to bite her and cut his hair off. And people may think it ain't true. I'm telling you what happened, because after I raised awareness to now that was purposely done. That wasn't a mistake. That was on purpose. Then they started examining Mello and see he got all these cuts on him. I said, see what I'm saying? So now I want to tell PetSmart that I'm headed up there today because I had to let myself cool off, because I really look at little dude like one of my little dudes. You know, I'm Papa Bear. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta go up there and holler at them about that. Like, what y'all think this is, right? And they gonna get some straightening. You know what I'm saying? And for all y'all that got pissed, man, that was a dramatic. I'm talking about, that hit me like I ain't even think that it hit me, man. That was deep for me. But let's get into the show. I want to start with Kanye West. You know, I think Kanye West is one of the culture's biggest influencers that we have. I think that the way Kanye West got there is not spoke about enough for me. You know, Kanye West willed his way into that position. They didn't want him to. He was never the golden child to after he made himself. He was the, hey, stay making beats, bro. You good with the beats. Y'all got to remember that. Right? But see, I keep telling y'all, what they do to you when you down, boy, is what they got to deal with when you up. What you do to me when I'm down is what you got to deal with when I'm up. So all the information I had to get to even get to put one step forward. See, you got a bunch of people handling it for you, but for me to get one step forward, I had to do all these different things. So when things finally come to fruition, when they finally call my name and my jersey is finally being put to use, I'm working with information now. I know what to do and how to do it and who to contact to do it for me if I don't know what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? So I keep myself in that kind of situation. What I think Kanye West, and we'll talk about the Kanye West and Drake thing and how they're comparing contrast and how this is a situation. But when I look at Kanye West and what I look at him doing right now with the pop-up listening events, for those who don't know, Kanye West is going around selling out stadiums for unreleased music. One of the biggest feats I've ever seen in regards to getting people to come out for the unknown. I'm not sure anybody's done that, right? And what I also think is going to be interesting is watching what Drake is going to do, because Drake is hitting that all-time high with rap, and at some point he's going to have to transition into more so art, like, for it to continue to have the impact like that. See, Kanye's battling Drake music with some art type thing. It's a different thing, but it shows you the level of Drake, because all I'm doing is rapping. This dude is going to the stadium and this and that and selling it out, and 2 days worth set building of a house that I grew up in with dirt, and all I'm doing is rapping. So you battling me with your machine gun and all that, you got all that, and I'm just Bruce Lee. You know, I'm just got these hands and I'm pretty quick with them. But you show up with all that, and I'm still either gonna beat you or give you a run for your money. That's powerful. But it's still gonna be interesting to see Drake pivot. He's gonna have to pivot soon. And it's gonna have to become more than music, which I've seen he's tried to do that when he's incorporated the art covers and the this and that. And so he's doing it. But again, it's gonna have to be a more conscious, or at least a more marketed thing from his perspective. What I see Kanye West doing, though, is making all the money on the front end. I think Kanye West is effectively changing the music business. You know what Tory Lanez did, a lot of people are saying, yo, that was dope. A lot of people saying that was cap. I don't know, have enough information about it. But what Kanye is doing is a real thing. You cannot fake putting people in those seats. The rest of this stuff, you know, it's up for debate. But asses in chairs, it ain't no debating that. And then on the front end, we got to consider what the game is. We got to consider what the game being and the structure of the game. The structure of the game is you do a rollout, you get everybody ready for your drop. After you drop, you make the money. You put a single out, right? A lot of times they put a single out right before it dropped, maybe a week before, depending on the artist, a month, 2 months before, depending on the artist, maybe even before that. They've been working this one record to try to see what it'll do. But I'm speaking more so when it's time to drop. Once that album drops, now it's time to drop all your videos, to run those numbers up on the songs that's already out on streaming platforms. Then it's time to tour. This is how the money comes in. It comes in after the album is dropped, because it's dependent and contingent on streams, ticket sales, merch, things like that that's sold in conjunction with that album dropping. What we looking at Kanye West doing is making all his money on before the album even dropped. They say they made $12 million before the drop of an album. You see what I'm saying? So if Drake put that album out and is way better than my album and I don't drop, I still made $12 million off what I did. Not saying that he'll do that, because I think he wants to smoke, but more so saying that think about what it takes to try to change the game like that. And this is what I tell people about competition. That's why I love competition. I'm a competitive dude. I deal with it. It's a part of me, right? It sways me. It sways my opinion of people when I got to compete with them. When I feel like, you know, it's certain things happen to me when it's competition mode, because I'm a scientist. I need to break it down to understand how to get it up. You see what I'm saying? So competition, the only thing that could have this looking the way it looks is competition. I always tell people that competition breeds innovation. In the absence of competition, everybody becomes comfortable. When comfortable is present, no innovation is in the area. No innovation is in the area. You got to dislike something, or you got to have something to fuel and go off of to feel like, you know, to even wield some of that innovation. And I appreciate competition. You know, people doing pod wars, and they going back and forth on podcasts about this and that, and they interviewing over here and then interviewing over there. And it's like, it's dope to me until it's disrespectful. We see Kanye dropping address. We see Drake laugh. Right? And I'm hearing people say, a lot of people saying like, yo, bro, Kanye West embarrassing himself, bro. He going out let Drake, I hear Joe Budden say, yo, Drake made like Kanye West kind of like, he's the father of this, right? What Drake do, like, so why is he even doing this? And see, what that says to me is that people not operating with enough information to really be having these conversations. Because even on the lower level, even in the projects, in the hood, we know, man, dudes can be richer than you, more famous, more powerful. People, you know, all kind of things more than you, have what people would consider to be in a better position than you, and hate on you. Because you got one thing they don't got. See, what you judging it by don't mean nothing to the people that's in the fight. After you get a certain amount of money, money don't matter. Drake's telling Kanye, I'm better than you. Like, I'm better than you, brother. You call me the righteous stuff, like y'all can't get with this, bro. This is it. But again, we see. And then a lot of times people say, hey, man, the person that's more richer than you not going to really hate on you or go as far as you. They got too much to lose. But see, when you operate in music and you operate with information on any kind of level, right? You got to learn how to compartmentalize, man. You got to understand that these folk just dancing. We talking music. See, Drake telling him, you doing all that, I'm just doing music. He probably saying, I can go sell that same stadium out just doing music. I'm not going to fly in the air. I'm not going to get set on fire. But this is Kanye bending what we know to be the regular rap stuff. He's bending it, and that's what he's known to do. And that's why his brand is effective, because he's told people and had people accept his brand from a place of it's constantly evolving, constantly different. And that's the problem with brands. A lot of time we let people pigeonhole our brand into this one thing, and then once you do that, they can minimalize it or X you out or X that whole genre or X that whole thing out if need be. You know, I also remember when all that stuff happened with Pusha T and Drake and stuff got leaked and he felt Kanye West done it. You got to remember, that's what I say, man. Got to consider everything. I remember Drake telling Kanye, come out to play. And Kanye was like, nah, he was ignoring it, pushing it off. I ain't dealing with, I don't want no problem, man. Listen, go ahead on, Drake. He's the GOAT. He's this, he's that, he's this, that. Like he was trying to duck the smoke. But it's like the little dude that act like he didn't want to fight because he was scared. Then he went and got his gun or his bat and he doubled back to the hood. Now he pressing the fight. So, you know, when people say he picking on Drake, I don't know, because Drake kind of asked for it, but Kanye didn't want to dance. Pusha T came out and Drake danced around him like, yo, man, your boss, man. Your boss, man. I don't, you know. And so now Kanye West is back out to play. Or not even necessarily went and got his bat, but he went and got in the gym. He went and got his body right. He went and got his confidence back. He went and got his speed back right. And that's, hey, let's dance, baby. Say you want to dance, let's do it. And Drake is appearing to be like, yo, move, dog. I be whooping y'all, boy. But to me, it's always critical to know your opponent's weakness and their strengths. Kanye West's strength is his brand. They accept almost anything from it. He can try anything, literally. And somebody's going to say, that's it. Drake hasn't went through that criticism phase yet. And I think Kanye West is trying to catch Drake right in that criticism phase because, you know what Jay-Z said. First they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Drake has just been loved so far. So I'm not sure what, it seemed like Kanye waiting to try to snipe him right when the fans is turning on him so he can reclaim and Lil Boy bring him back on the team later on down the line. I heard Joe Budden having a conversation about Kanye West and Drake, and let me say this. The pod is getting better with Joe Budden and Ish and Ice. I noticed that when Joe Budden starts to speak about certain things, you remember my criticism was Joe will never be able to go on a rant again because Ish won't allow him. He's going to stop him. A conversation has been had behind the scenes in which they've notified Ish, let him pod, bro. This is what the people come to him for. So Ish just took the back seat. Coincidence or not, I called it out. They changed it. Do with that what you may. And also let me say, good pod. This was a good pod, man. And I think that they are growing in how they approach it. He spoke kind of about Kanye West. And so we're going to play a clip from his show and see what's going on. And then we'll respond to it.
But leave Drake alone. Leave Drake alone. I
said that last
I
time.
don't
I don't get it.
I don't like it. I don't like that. Give me my music. You be your genius. We already don't. Yo, you know why this is? We never had you on the same level as Drake because you was here first. You did it first. You did it different. You did it bigger. You did it like you was already a god. Y'all minimize yourselves worrying about other niggas.
No. So Joe Budden says that we didn't have him with Drake. See, this is less about where we had him. This is an internal thing. And what you can't do is disregard the fact that people deal with things internally. It's like that disease that people have where they look in the mirror and they think they're fat, so they make themselves throw up. Right? This ain't got nothing to do with what the scales say. This ain't got nothing to do with what my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my mother or my child say. I'm dealing with this internally. I think when I look in the mirror, something look a little too fat. Something don't look right. I'm dealing with that. And it's the same with Kanye. And also I want to say this. Kanye West knows where Drake is in the race. Right? So yeah, I'm ahead of you, right? I'm ahead, like with these podcasters, they know I'm ahead of you in the race, right? But I know when I was where you are, I wasn't as good as you are, right? So when I was 52 pods in, I couldn't catch a cadence like that. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't find it the way you finding it. But then that's where they ignore that the blueprint that's put out, the information provides a luxury for the people that come after you laid the blueprint. But he's looking Drake dead in the face saying, whoa, you done made this much and you ain't spun off and done nothing? I mean, your little deals I ain't talking about. I'm talking about like really done some real All right, forget music. Everybody we know to have money that came from music stopped music from us for a minute and only hustled other things to get the money off building the brand that they built from music. They know that's coming with Drake. It's yet to have been done, and he's already raking up the amount of money that's putting him in the stratosphere with some of these people. So it ain't about, we don't put you on the same level as Kanye. We look at you. It's about internally, I know where he at in the race. When other podcasters look at me and they say his cameras look, his audio, he's speaking well. He's got guests, great guests. His clicks are up, his likes are up, his views are up. When I was 50 episodes in with no help, I wasn't there. Ignore him, suppress him, act like it ain't because again, it's an internal thing that they dealing with.
We see it every verses. The dude with more accolades that we think is gonna win gets sunned out from the nigga that raised
with its Up There podcast.
That's just history. You can't take it back. Hey, the nigga that taught me how to fight, I can't take it back from him. Mm-hmm. Hey, nigga that told me how to do that, I can't go get it back.
With its Up There podcast.
I hate when Kanye varies off of that plane of the guy that did it. He did it. And he's still doing it. Don't take me wrong in what I'm saying. Don't take me wrong. Yeah. But wait. I'm attempting to speak from that God tier that none of us are on. You have to try to look at it like they are looking at it at each other. You got to try to see it how Drake is looking at him. Now, not old, young, beardless, funny video making dude. Like dude now. He looking like, yo, dog. My nigga, for real. I'm gonna keep laughing until September, whatever the date is. He looking like, let me tell you what that laugh said. Yo, I wish I could DM you my marketing plan.
Show you that you're nowhere near it. It has nothing to do with you.
The laugh said, yo, one day, I'm gonna show you all we had planned for this. You're nothing.
With this Up There
You're gonna
podcast.
have to light some more shit on. That's what the laugh said. For him, I would never. The rest of us would never. You can't play with Kanye like that. Right. You cannot play with Kanye like that unless
you can play with him like that.
It's different.
With this Up There podcast.
So last week I said enter Kendrick Lamar. Parks and Ice said nah. But if you believe Kanye West to be the genius that he is, because he is, and I'm telling you that Drake has made him lose sleep. I'm telling you something. And they've made each other lose sleep. But that don't change. That Drake has made him lose sleep. That means as great as Kanye is, we know dude is on his mind. And if dude is powerful enough to be on his mind, what the fuck make Kendrick Lamar think he exempt? What make me think he's exempt from that? Somebody out there, make it make sense for me. The floor.
With this Up There podcast.
Right. Can we start with, that's not how I presented that. Let's start there first off.
And we go, yeah, what should I'm listening. No. Not is to whoever, take it how you want.
What Joe Budden is saying is that Kendrick is the real fight is Kendrick and Drake. Kanye stepped in the way. Not sure how to feel about that. I think from a number standpoint, that could be the case. I mean, we got Drake doing 7-something, Kendrick doing 6-something first week last time they dropped an official project. That would make them 1 and 2. Kanye, though, is a big joker in this game. Again, I've told y'all Kanye's fighting Drake with a bunch of weapons. He got his 504 and he got his Pop Smoke. He got his Jay-Z. He got his Weekend. He got his Jeremiah. He got his The Baby. He got his Locks. He got his. And let's speak about The Baby. The Baby came out with Kanye West at his Chicago listening event. and did pretty good. He rapped a song about cancel culture and things like that. And I think Jay-Z is on that song. Kanye West is doing that. Those things do appear to be marketing moves. Biggest story in hip hop, song with Jay-Z, which is at the forefront of Meg situation, and has shown support through features with Beyonce and things like that. That's the Hove and Beyonce stimulus package. When they jump on something with you, or they do something that puts you in a good light, it automatically brings you money, right? And so they did that for Meg, along with Nicki, along with Cardi. She just got a real big push to land where she's landing, and a beautiful thing. It's a reason why she rose to the top so quick. It was a lot of co-signing and a lot of push, people lifting that black woman up. So round of applause for people doing that. But with Kanye and Drake, I mean, there's a lot of things that's happening, right? I also look at it from a standpoint to say, did Drake influence Kanye West in any way to start doing church music? I know it sounds crazy, but when you think about Drake, when you listen to some of them songs, he plays with those sixes, 666, right? And then it didn't come out of left field for Kanye, but his brain may be telling him to go against this, you know, from a creative standpoint, right? You do 666s, I do church, God, right? Those are combative. You do Nike, I do Adidas. You do the, you know. So they have a lot of things, but I think his brain may be telling him like, yo, bro, this is good versus evil. This is good versus evil. But I don't look at it like that, man. I just think this is gonna be a great music coming out of this. Innovation, competition breeds innovation, and it's important to keep competition in this game, in every aspect of the game. Let's keep competition alive, man. Some people say Kanye West and Drake has something to do with Apple because Drake left Apple. Apple was done with Drake. He's doing his Sirius XM radio thing, and Kanye West has now aligned himself with Apple. And it made me view Apple from a different perspective in regards to content and podcasting. They haven't put as much money in podcasting, but they're treating these things like different businesses. They're operating on Apple Music with podcast type content, and also operating with their podcast business, right? So you can go on Apple Music and they run content all day. Like I'm actually trying to get a deal over there, but they're running content all day. They got what's her name was on there with academics. I'm sorry, I forget your name. Great voice in this industry. They got her. They used to be with academics on Everyday Struggle. They got Ebro over there, Rosenberg. They got so many voices. Nicki showed there. Drake got something that was there that again that he took off. But when you look at Spotify and you see them give $20 million to Call Her Daddy podcast, this and that podcast, that and that podcast, they're doing the same thing that Apple is doing, but Apple isn't doing it exclusively in that podcast niche. They're doing it on their platform. Now here's the thing with Spotify. They're doing the same thing, but they're making it look like that they're doing it from only a podcasting standpoint, and they're doing video. That's the only thing different they're doing. So they're also competing with YouTube as well as Apple. They're just trying to place themselves in the race. Spotify, I'll take a deal with them if need be as well. We in negotiations, man. Let's get it done. Y'all reach out to my people. Let's figure something out. We'll speak from a great standpoint. I see a lot of people saying that though, that Drake and Kanye is really Apple, and now they're inserting Disney, because you don't get to just hack ESPN, right? That says something behind the scenes that Drake is probably saying, I can do as much as you're doing, if not more, but I'm not. I'm doing something different. That dude hacked ESPN and dropped his release date, like in response to a Joker picture that was sent to him by Kanye West, like the Joker did on the Real movie. So they're playing a real life artsy little game. Speaking about Spotify podcast and Apple and podcast, and DJ Academics took his podcast to Spotify. Interesting deal. I'm still looking into it. He's gonna, build himself out, do a job, see what happened, and I'm seeing the rappers want to go up there and want to talk to him about stuff. So that's great. That's great for him. I thought he was gonna have trouble with his approach, right? Because he was approaching it like get down or lay down, but I guess the rappers laying down respectfully. DJ Academics does have a big platform respectfully, so I guess they got to get with the get down. But this is the thing, right? He took his podcast over to Spotify. Again, I think this is still in response to the Joe Budden deal leaving Spotify. Again, Academics serve some of that audience. Rory and Mal serve some of that audience. Those two together would give us 70% of what Joe would have gave us, and we saved a lot of money, right? So from a business standpoint, I think they're looking to do it that way. What's interesting about the deal, though, is they have Academics going 3 times a week, and I'm not sure what the money is, but they got them going 3 times a week, that's a lot of content for Academics to come straight out the woods 3 times a week. Pardon. I know y'all think this is just when you look at me do it or people do it, all you got to do is sit there and shoot the shoot. Yeah. It ain't that, man. It's a dance. There's segues. There's topics you need to discuss. There's time you need to transition in and out of those topics. There's ways you need to do it to stay interesting. Your little style, whether that's whatever that may, right? So it's a lot that goes into it. Interesting, and I'm going to watch it. But I'm going to examine the Joe Budden and Academics in contrast situation with Spotify in regards to what Spotify's doing with giving. They're probably looking at the Joe Budden situation like, yeah, we really made a good decision. We were close to giving him 40, 50 M's. And we might have gave these, Rory and Mal them came free, right? But give him a couple million, not to, maybe 5, 7 for a 3-year deal, something like that, right? And save 25 M's, 30 M's. And still service that same, but the game's not over. That's why Joe stands firm and he holds out, and he doesn't put his stuff everywhere because he's trying to get deals with everybody. He's treating his part, and they're trying to make him submit, but he likes to treat his podcast like almost like a TV show, right? So if you see Law and Order on ABC, they paid, but if you see it on Fox, they paid, and you can see these all at the same time. You see it on FX, a special unit. That's still another check, and it still go right. So he's treating it more so from that perspective, and I understand that. But you got to readjust now because your business is in a different standpoint. Let's get to Academics. Following the Tekashi 6ix9ine interview, Shotty comes on Academics. I want you guys to know 1 and 2 things. The reception that the Tekashi 6ix9ine interview got, the Shotty interview didn't get. And that to me feels intentional. Number one, it feels like he didn't get as many clips put up. It wasn't as much going on with it. And the blogs didn't grab it. They don't care what he's saying. It's like they only care about what Tekashi is saying. And it's very interesting. It's a strange thing. I didn't see any clubhouse rooms pop up after it. Like, it just kind of sit there and went away. Now, what this does for Academics is tell Shotty, yo, I allowed you to say your piece, bro. Whether or not they, that's on them. But I think Academics doesn't understand what's happening with Shotty. He doesn't understand the street, so he don't understand that people, like, sometimes I got to go buy something from somebody I don't care for. But the business and my phone call for me I got to get straight. I know he ain't the police. We just got issues. Sometimes you politic not necessarily with the cold hard enemy, but with people that your interests don't align with for the sake of, I got to get straight to take care of my people, right? So my plug ain't in town. Don't nobody got nothing. But the ops cousin got some on the other side. I'm fading the ops. I'm going to get straight. Take my money to the ops territory and go and get straight. You know, sometimes that's the approach, right? So, in my opinion, what Shotty is doing is trying to make sure that Act understands, number one, get him to clearly state to me that you know what you're doing and you're on the other side. And I'm going to laugh it off and act like, no, bro, it's just what you do. Because everybody know you play dead to catch. Listen, you play dead for him to come see if you dead, nigga. You understand? So you trying to trick him into, man, listen. And then when I hold you accountable for it, you can't backtrack because you told me you knew what you were doing. You knew I was loyal. You knew what he was doing. You knew he was perpetuating lies. It's a public case. You haven't put nothing out, right? So these is what things start to come into play at. Let's listen to a little bit of the interview, man, and we'll give our outlook on it.
Felt you guys were being dishonest because there was show money missing and you guys were lying about it. He said that on the Breakfast Club interview. Did you ever take any money without his knowledge? Were you siphoning money off the top? Did anybody do that?
Never. Nobody like academics, man. Again, y'all know what's true and what's fake, man. Like, you're in the business, okay? There are people that handle certain amounts of money, and you know this. He had a business manager. I had my accountants. I had Tashia from MTA Booking. I had Nicole, which is my assistant. They all handled the funds. Like, if he had any proof behind that, he'd have showed it. I would have been sued. Like, the point is, I'm a millionaire. He was mad. Like, I've made deals. He's not the only artist I work with. Like, that's just that. I came in jail a millionaire. I'm gonna go home a millionaire with probably more money than I came in with. It's just that simple. There's no need. It was never a need for me to steal anything or siphon or any other words you might come up with. Like, it didn't happen, man. Like, so the spreading in my name ain't gonna work. First off, and if I did, I'm tough. Act like I'm not a square. I'd have said I took it. Like, I'm tough, my nigga. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, at no point could he do anything to me or nobody else. If I took money, I'd have said, yeah, I took that nigga money. And
this call is from a federal prison.
He wouldn't have had nothing to say. It's just that simple.
So basically, Ack is asking him, hey, yo, bro, man, did y'all steal his money, bro? He's saying that's why he told. He's like, yo, this dude's a shrimp. If I'd have took his money, I'd be telling you I took the dude money. Like, he's a clown. I took his money. So this is how you know the people that was active. This is how they look at dude. And he got so much to prove, man. He gonna walk himself into a situation where it's time to prove it. And it ain't gonna always be the way that we envision it in our mind. You know, I talked before about the fight I got in Walmart. I beat dude up in Walmart. But it was one mistake I made. In my mind, I saw myself coming through with the overhand right and knocking 5 from him. I'm talking about, yeah. But I come through with the overhand right. And guess what? I had a praying grandmother. You feel me? I fall. Boom. He come with the kick game, but you know, cerebral. I'm out of there. Boom. I jump back up. I ain't doing that no more. I'm just going to jab him down because, again, I was dealing with what I thought I could do versus what actually happened when this was in front of me. So these are people that's active. They know, like, bro, he ain't cut. That dude ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. Like, it's almost feels like he want to get, hit before they come home so he can get on out the way.
Shotty, I remember one time I was in the studio with you and you said this vividly. You said, yo, I'll do anything for this kid. I'll lay my life down for him. Do you regret, like statements like that? Or even do you regret like bringing him so close to like how you guys are moving that he had some of the knowledge? Because that's another thing that Wack 100 said. He said, if you're going to have somebody who's a high prized asset like 6ix9ine, he's not supposed to know when the shootings and the robberies about to go down. And he's not supposed to make the call.
This is Wack. Whatever Wack says has no concern or no, it holds no merit on nothing I did or my people do. First and foremost, let's get that out of the way, right? Secondly, we are who we are, bro. Like, there's no regretting anything. But the fact that you said that means that you know that we were loyal to him. Aside from what he's normally saying, he's running around saying nobody was loyal to him. But you know firsthand that we were loyal. Am I right?
Yeah.
For the fact that you even asking that question. All right. So the fact that you hold on. Before you go any further, the fact that you're even asking me a question about our loyalty, or if we felt that he violated our loyalty, that means we were loyal to him at one point. So whatever he's saying holds no merit, man. And even if I'm gonna go to this, man, worst case scenario, if I did fuck Sarah, did Kuda B fuck Sarah? Did Melly fuck Sarah? Did Crippy fuck Sarah?
He said he didn't tell. He said he didn't tell on Kuda B. That's what he said. He says he never told on Kuda. He said Kuda told on him.
Why Kuda told on him? Why the fuck? Are you serious?
That's what he says. He quotes an article.
Y'all know this public record, man. Like, y'all know everything is public record. Kuda B ain't telling that boy, man. Kuda B ain't do that, man. Tell the boy stop lying. Like, why is Kuda in jail and he's not? Like, common sense will tell you that, man. Don't try to. Yeah.
Would you do anything different? And also, when we were doing that interview, like I saw, like, there was a DM. I guess your son had reached out to him. Like, would you ever forgive 6ix9ine? Ever?
Forgive him? Not like he's forgiven. Like he's a boy. Like he gotta forgive himself at the end of the day. He don't like how he living, man. Like he don't like that. He doesn't like hiding. He's hiding. He don't got no money to pay security. You know what I'm saying? Like money ran out, man. Like it's over for him. That's just that, man. I'll call y'all back and I'll call you back, man. You know what I'm saying? So we can finish this stuff. I'll call you back, all right?
So I'm almost to a point where I could almost believe that money running out, because I think the money's running out, but you want to make yourself feel like you doing it because you ain't scared. But he kind of telling you it's about the money. Hey, yo, I spent 1.1 million, bro, since February to such and such. And he kept saying it, February to such and such 1.1, February to such and such 1.1 million, man. February to, you see what I'm saying? That's a lot of money, bro. And ain't no money coming in. Them streaming numbers ain't doing that. I don't know no merch that's selling for them. So ain't no money coming in. What's coming? You on Billboard last time. That's making a lot of money. But right now ain't no money coming in. So you can't afford to continue to have security. You can't afford to continue to have security. It don't matter what you say. I know better than that. You cannot afford to continue to have security. You do not have you don't have no money coming in. What investments have you made? We don't know you to be a businessman. You even say I'm not a businessman like that. I just do rap. I think they gave him 11 million. And if they did, he should still have some money. But we know how deals are broke down, and there's times you're paid, advances, things like that, benchmarks you need to meet before you make certain, there's things happening. We know that to be the case. So yeah, let's listen to a little more.
That's simple. That's not even a question. That's like that's no. Like it's point blank no. Like not even his name is not even the same sentence as that. It wouldn't be. It couldn't be.
So what he's asking right here is based on what Wack 100 is saying, and that was real interesting to me too, is that he keep telling Wack 100, he keep telling Shotty what Wack 100 is saying about his case, right? I get telling other people what Wack 100 is saying, right? That's cool, but this my case, bro. Like, it's my case. Let me tell you what. Don't tell me what somebody that ain't on the case saying, respectfully. They not on the case. Or they ain't providing no paperwork. I can see if they're explaining what they're looking at. We got to respect truth is truth and lies is lies. But don't come to me about somebody that ain't on my case that's speculating about what the circumstances are surrounding it. We know the courtroom is very detailed. It's very detailed in regards to the specifics of things. Now, there's blanket things that we know. If you're a rat, you're a rat. But it's detailed about the circumstances of cases. Like, failure to prosecute, illegal search and seizure, right? Somebody might get caught with something in my city and they done something wrong, illegal search and seizure. That case is gone. Now they calling him a rat because he beat the like, it's certain things that people on the outside don't have any information on. That's why when Wack, someone that people say, okay, he speaks for the streets. This is what the consumer looks at this and says, Wack speaks for the streets. Not speaks for the streets. Let me retract that. Wack understands the streets. So he's a voice and an extension of the understanding of people that operate around the streets. So when he says he should have been locked up, or dang, he might be a rat, or when he sits with 6ix9ine, or when these things are subtle cosigns, and it gives merit to situations. But Wack and Shotty got something going. Wack don't like Shotty. Shotty don't like Wack. There's something going on there. But let's listen to him. He asked him, have Jim Jones participated again? I explained why they didn't put Jim Jones on the warrant. I'm sorry. On the indictment. It would have then weakened the case, because now you bring someone in. We bring all these people that explain that they're reaching. Violate means this. It's not even that kind of situation. And we're talking about on TMZ, Keep that off the case. That only weakens the case. And they're going to fight like hell to make sure Jim don't go, because he's part of the money. If this is what the federal government says it is, I don't believe it to be the case, because I don't think nobody doing nothing wrong. Outside of touching children and things like that, they need to go to prison. But when we talk about me and my brothers form some kind of camaraderie, we won't allow people to disrespect, take things from us, and we're trying to get a few dollars. I understand that they call that a gang. But I see the same thing being done by Ford, being done by Pepsi, being done by America even. So it's kind of confusing when the optics are viewed that way. I see it as the same thing, but y'all telling me it's different. Something interesting about that. I haven't done enough research on it. But let's listen to what he said.
All these rappers are getting indicted by the feds right now. Who you think? Go back to his case history. Like, when he testified, he called all these dudes' names up. Why are you calling Jim Jones?
This call is from a federal prison.
Why are you calling Jim Jones' name in an interview with Wack? Why are you doing things like that? You still trying to get people indicted? What type of time are you on if you didn't tell? If you get what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. I'm glad you brought up Jim Jones, because, like, for clarity for everybody else, and I'm hoping you still have a good relationship with Mel Murder, right? Do you, Mel Murder, or anybody else from 9 Trey consider Jim Jones a snitch?
Hell, come on, that's not even a question. That's not even a question. If he was, we wouldn't be around him. That's the bro. Like, I love him. I love him like he loves us. It's just that simple. That's not even a question. That's like that. No, like, it's point blank. No, like not even. His name is not even the same sentence as that. It wouldn't be. It couldn't be. Like, we hold him with the highest regard for a reason. We couldn't be. It wouldn't be. Not at all.
I'm only asking that because recently, like, the whole topic of 6ix9ine saying, yo, he should have been indicted because of a conversation about super violating.
Listen, man. Like, y'all got to really understand what's going on. This is a federal case, right? If Jim had anything to do with anything, he would have been indicted. He didn't have anything to do with anything, bro. People are allowed to say what they feel at any given time. If you violate me and I feel like I want to tell my brother what to do, that's cool, bro. Like, that's what he was doing. Y'all heard it. The recordings came out, and the full-length recordings are going to be out on the Treyway documentary, my documentary. But you heard what Complex released. Y'all heard it. He was just speaking something. He didn't say anything. Nobody said kill the kid or hurt the kid. He ain't say nothing like that.
Well, Wack said a security guard was attacked afterwards. That's what he said.
With this up there podcast.
Wack is not part of this. Like, why does what he says have merit? Like, they're speaking.
Well, it's a part of the main narrative and conversation. When we talked before we even did this, you said, what's going on with the narrative?
Right.
This is how the narrative is getting out. So I'm asking you could confront the narrative.
This is for the world. This is for the world and all your fans and all his fans, man. Right? When somebody speaks on a situation without any facts, it's their opinion. What you're listening to is two fucking corny ass dudes' opinions. These are not facts. Like, you get what I'm saying? If somebody wants to take the time out and get facts, they can do that. That's what we're here for. It's a public record, man. The case is public record, man. So all this shit that y'all running around with this dude and he's running around talking all this shit, and come on, man, it's not even interview worthy. You get what I'm saying? It's not even interview worthy.
And by the way, I know you say you didn't consider, which I would like to know why you didn't consider Wack a street dude. But for us civilians like me, right? When Wack says, "Yo, I know what usually goes down when things like this happen," so you know, like if he's giving insight, you know. So number one, why don't you?
What usually goes down?
Well, he's just saying that usually if somebody's on a on a wiretap talking like that, usually charges come down. If there isn't charges, there's something else going on. That's his thing. That's his.
First and foremost, you have to. Usually, he's never been indicted by the federal government. Like, you have to commit a crime. Like, the standards on being in the federal government is very high. Like, even in the state, you can't prosecute somebody for being on the phone and saying, "Hey, yo, I think you should do this," or "I think you should do that." Like, that's what Jim did. Like, you got the recordings, release them shits again, and clear my man's name. That shit is the shit is going on out there with dudes who have no merit or no facts, claiming real niggas as rats. That's crazy. Like, and when a rat is saying that, that's even crazier. Like, a rat is a rat is a rat. Like, what the fuck are you guys not understanding?
You know, it's just interesting to see, and the money does things, man. It makes people coordinate a certain way, man. Like I say, your interest shows in your moves in this game. Who you align yourself with, what you stand for, how you navigate. You know, we're gonna get to Boosie on the Breakfast Club and him speaking about, you know, the gay community, LGBT and Lil Nas X and things like that. But I also wanted to speak about just the Wack 100 situation with Shotty. And also I saw again, I spoke about Wack 100 and Muslims and Farrakhan and how it came off basically saying like, we ain't rocking with that, right? And so Big U came out. Big U came out and said, listen, I wholeheartedly 1 million with all I got stand with Farrakhan. And what Wack 100 said about Farrakhan, we don't stand by. That's the first. You see? Now, what is this getting you into about this little snitch boy, man? You know what I'm saying? It's somebody that you really mess with. This the home team. But since then, I have saw him I ain't really heard much more. You know, in regards to him fueling him. You know what I'm saying? After that Farrakhan talk, but because Big U and them, they like, yo, that wasn't cool. What was that, huh? We going against Honorable Farrakhan about Tekashi? Just to do it like, is this what we doing? Like, nah, bro. And I just think it's interesting, man. Like, you got to understand this game provides itself all the rope to hang yourself. All the rope to hang yourself. You could be as smart as you want to be and as swift as you think you are, but this game here going to provide you some rope, and with the wrong decisions in conjunction with the wrong things being said by the right people, it's career suicide. You know what I'm saying? And so that was just interesting to me, man. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll get to some more stuff in the culture.
After this break, we'll be back breaking the game down with It's Up There Podcast. Stay tuned.
I want to speak about situations that I've saw happen a lot on the internet, man, and it's in regards to relationships, and it bothers me. It bothers me, and it tickles me, and it places me in a position not to understand the interests of the people that's involved with such a heinous act. When I see online someone come to the internet, now let's step back and figure out what the internet is. It's a bunch of people that you don't know, that don't care, and you don't know that they care, right? I'm sorry, you don't know that they don't care. So the internet is a place where it's a bunch of people you don't know that don't care, that you don't know that they don't care. You see what I'm saying? So they come to the internet and they come to the internet and they like to talk about their counterparts. They like to talk about their boyfriend or their girlfriend or who they into it with or who they used to love and why the love is gone and how the love disappeared and where it used to be and why it ain't there no more. They like to get online and say certain things that I would consider backbiting. Now, whether or not I'm right or wrong in that, it'll be up for debate. But I looked online the other day and I saw a young lady walking. She was live, right? And this is twofold. So a guy asked her, she has a real big ass. You know, us guys nowadays, we like a whole lot of ass, you know, cushion for the pushing, and it places you in a position to enjoy the ride, right? So whole lot of ass. So dude went and tried to get at her. No harm, no foul. We see a pretty woman. Some of us react to that, you know. I tend not to. You know, I enjoy it like everybody else, but I'm not going to place myself in a position to go out on a tree limb that way, right? So he goes out on a tree limb and he goes at her. Her response to him is what was interesting to me. Her response to him was, hey, I can't take a picture with you because my man is insecure. Now, I asked myself, see, there's a couple things you got to know when someone says something or does something. Number one, you got to figure out what you think people going to do with that information or why you think they asked that. Number one, you offered information that he didn't ask by telling him your man is insecure. I didn't see the value in that. Number two, what you think he's going to do with that information? So as a man or as a woman and sometimes dudes do they girl like that. Oh, man, you know, my old lady wouldn't like nobody next to me like that. You know what I mean? I don't see what that be about. Somebody explain it to me. But what it comes off as is that I'm shitting on my partner so you can look at me in more of in a brighter of a light, right? Oh, I'm so good that my partner is jealous by the sight of somebody next to me. And if that's the case, let's say your partner is battling with some sort of identity crisis or some sort of jealousy behavior or some sort of way he views you. Sometimes men view their women with so much admiration, right, that it bleeds into possessiveness, right? It starts off as admiration, but you got to control admiration. But then some people give you free reign. Once I'm yours, do what you like. As long as you ain't hurting me, but love me as hard as you want to love me, right? Some people got that type of mindset, but others say, yo, control your admiration because it may start to feel like possessiveness, which may start to feel like jail, which then starts to feel like I need to leave. Right? So you got to know how to talk to the person that you deal with and you involved with. You got to know what it is that speaks to their well-being. I always tell people you got to begin with the ending in mind. A lot of people, they go and they start things and they don't consider where they going. A wise man said, if you hire people for where you're going, they can't fit the way you. If you hire people for where you at, they can't fit the way you going, then you failed. See, it's important to plan for the expansion. It's important to always consider if it works. A lot of people wasn't ready when it worked. I see a lot of rappers get a record deal. They don't have an LLC. They don't have a bank account. They don't have nobody, no lawyers, no team. They don't know who to hire. I know right now who to hire for any situation that I get in the industry, outside the industry, because I put the knowledge in. right? So I'm not going to go hire somebody that knows nothing about what it is that we're about to be faced with. And I'm also not hiring nobody who only is stagnant and can only be beneficial in one place. I will let you work with me on one thing. But to me, when I hire someone, we're speaking about the ending in mind. You know, we don't just go do frivolous things. So understanding that, but I just didn't appreciate that girl said that, man. I'm like, damn, man, you can't even be insecure with your girl. You can't even be vulnerable, right? Because somebody like me that's so powerful and, you know, people hold me in high regard, you know, if I show certain weaknesses, and I'm telling people, and I always tell everybody, I'm not perfect, home. I'm flawed up. I'm talking about flawed up. But I'm seeking. I'm Bluetooth mode. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my confidence may come off as assurance. But my confidence is only a reflection of what I know I'm willing to endure to get it done. So my confidence shouldn't bother nobody, because see, my confidence, it only speaks to what I know I'm willing to do to get it done, right? When I walk in a room and it's 100 of you dudes, it don't bother me. When somebody hollering what they gonna do, it don't bother me. I know what I'm willing to do. Hey, when somebody say, we'll sign you for this, and they don't understand my retention, they don't understand, see, for you to get this here, what I'm doing, you gotta really understand the culture. This ain't for the faint-hearted. This ain't just for the business guys. You can't see on the front end without the vision. You can't see what this is that I'm doing. This is what I'm doing is worth more money than what they gonna consider, because they don't know who I'm speaking to. They don't know the ghetto is tuned in. They don't know hip hop is tuned in. They don't know I'm dealing with experiences. They don't know that people can feel it everywhere I go. They gravitate to this. So they want to look at numbers, and they want to compare me to people that's been sitting next to people for 20 years. But I'm trying to tell them they don't understand impact. They don't understand what it takes to crack ground and break ground as I'm doing. You ain't never heard nobody talk like this. It ain't what I'm saying. It ain't how I said it. It ain't when it's being said. It's all those things in combination. And it's never been done this way. You may heard a little bit of it on a Pimp C track. You may hear a little bit over here when you listen to some motivational guys that feel like that they giving game. You may hear a little bit of it in the hood with your uncle or your cousin, but then you cut it on and it's all let in one, and then we able to, you know what I'm saying? So understanding the impact of things, man, and we'll move on, because I'll get off on a tangent and start taking y'all down through there, man, about some things that y'all may not necessarily understand just yet, but it'll all make sense. Just stay on the ride. It'll all make sense. It'll place us in a great situation. It will not fail us, because what I'm willing to do to get it done, I can't be stopped. Let's talk about Tory Lanez. Told y'all last week that prosecutors was pushing to up the bond of Tory Lanez for popping out at Rolling Loud on Meg Thee Stallion with on the baby set, and they said that he violated his restraining order with Meg Thee Stallion. I always tell you, man. I always tell you that you got to be careful with who you're dealing with. People will show you what they'll do, right? And I'm not speaking about who's right or wrong in this. I'm just speaking about understanding what's going on and what's involved. You got somebody that you know is willing to do these kind of things, dog. Why would you be in a situation to antagonize them? I don't see the value in that. I think that's a mistake. To antagonize someone that's hell bent on not letting you antagonize them. It makes no sense. When money's present, bullshit doesn't exist. We can't mix the money with the you want to get back at somebody. These things don't coexist. They don't make sense. And we didn't get way here to still play the high school game. We here to rake the money in, look around. If we run into a few real ones on the way, shout out to them. If not, get the money, go back home, bring it to the family. Take it back to the village, build the people, build the brand, build the public, build the community. This is what the vibes is, not to come here and This ain't funny games for some of us. We come from the ghetto. Right? And what we tend to do is we tend to ignore warning signs. It's something about a warning sign that our arrogance won't allow us to accept the fact that, hey, you showed me you'll do these kind of things, and I tend to not take you at your word. Right? So let's just say that some of the things Tory's saying about Meg are true, right? Oh, she made this up, or she made that up, or she made this up. Let's just entertain that. I know that it may not be the case, but let's entertain it just for the sake of, because I do a podcast. Let's say that all of that is true. She lied about this. She made this up, made that up. So then why would you give her footage to show when you popping out at a show that you're not expected at? Your fans are not disappointed because they never counted on you to be there. They kind of have accepted the fact that what Meg is, Tory isn't, and that's just how this thing works. What is the value in that? Right? So for me, it didn't make sense. You ignoring the warning signs. Sometimes I look at a marriage and I see the people go up and they happy and they got all their family there and people got suits on and people are dressed in some of the best, Sunday's best. Got to be one of the most beautiful sceneries that I've ever encountered or seen. There's emotion at a very high level. Someone's giving their daughter away. I mean, this is one of the best times in the world. But when they get up there, there's something that the dude got to read. And when he go to reading, these are warnings. And it may not be took as a warning because everybody's dressed up and the man saying it has a such pristine voice and he's talking very loud and direct and love is in there and everybody's there, the kids and the flower girl. But he's telling you the circumstances that may be involved with what you headed towards. Through sickness, through health, through good, through bad, through this, through that, through So what he's saying is, I know everything feels good now, but I just want to warn you, right, that certain things lead to certain things, and then when certain things present themselves, we're in for a roller coaster. But everybody casually, I do, just right after that, don't even consider it, don't even look, I do, yay, yeah, everybody. They ain't, the warning's been ignored. And not saying that marriage is a bad thing, but understand what you're getting involved with the same way with them. Understand when you pop out on this stage, what this does. Somebody, every action has a reaction. There's going to be a reaction to this. They're going to say, oh, you done this? I got you. But you know, see, because dealing with women is such a fragile thing, man. You know, I was telling my homeboy that relationships, man, they as the, you know, the older I get and the more experience I get with life and the more women and people I encounter and the more information that I gather, right? As I'm getting older. Back in the day, we used to be hunters and gatherers where we would have to go out for our food. Now we have to go out for our information and bring that back to the village. But nonetheless, it's more and more information that I get with relationships. I used to only think relationships were about who can freak me the most. You know, or not necessarily freak me the most, but who could sustain me sexually? Who can place me in a situation where possibly, you know, I can count on them in a sexual manner, right? As I age, I say, wow, relationships are really like relationships. You know, it's just some of us don't view them that way, right? Just view them more so as a, I don't know what it is, but it's way more than that. And relationships and marriage is two different things, right? So marriage isn't about how long you've been with somebody. Marriage is more so about the feeling you get while you with somebody, right? To convince yourself that I can deal with this feeling for the rest of my life, right? So some people always equate that, hey, girl, he been with you for this many years. He need to be marrying you. Well, marriage don't work like that. Men go where they provided peace, right? And so men are going to find a place where men don't get married to the person. Men get married to the circumstances. Men get married to the environment. Men get married to all the things that surround and make that person who they are. And oftentimes we look over that. But the more I get older, I say, man, you got to have somebody that understands what it is. Like I didn't understand when they used to be like, yo, a creator man needs this kind of one. I didn't usually get that, but when you somebody like me, man, and you way down here and you creating all this stuff and you going hard and you investing and you back and forth and you trying to figure it out. And things are happening on the back end where money is, being spent the in and out. And this is part of the game. You need somebody that understands what it takes for you to get up and go and do that. And also, see, I told my homeboy, I want to be with somebody that make me lower my tone. And I think he took that wrong. He took that like I want some woman telling me what to do. So he asked me, what you mean? I had to tell him, I want somebody that I don't have to be loud around. I don't have to be macho man. You understand me? I need a woman who ain't gonna make me be Randy Savage. Right? When I come in the house, I got to, man, I've been fighting the world all day, man. Let me lay Randy outside. Yeah, I'm coming in as, you understand me? Yeah, so I just want to relax and chill, and I don't want to have to defend myself and my ideas and what I've done in my podcast and who likes me and who inboxes me and who this and who that, because I'm creating at a high level and none of these dudes don't have this type of flavor about them. These dudes is real bland, and then I come through and it got a little something about them and people tend to like it. Like, yo, I can't defend these things. This is how life works. People gravitate to the truth. People gravitate to what it is they can feel and understand and provides them with some sort of solace. And that's what I do. And so just understand, man, whoever you be with and however you choose to interact with them is very important in your well-being mentally. A lot of people worry about the physical, but they don't worry about the mental. And sometimes people worry about the mental and not the physical. So there's a marriage that has to happen between those two. We got to worry about both things in order to encounter the best possible version of ourselves. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just relationships are very, very deep, man. They very, very deep. We're going to get into the Kodak Black and Jackboy situation. There's a lot going on with it. I'm going to play one of the clips. Then we'll get to the Boosie. All right, so let's talk about Kodak Black and Jackboy, man. They seem to be going through a very intense situation amongst each other, man, that seems that it could end not well. You dig what I'm saying? And it's always from the inside that do the most damage. It's always from the inside that do the most damage, man. You see what I'm saying? So, one thing I am going to say, Jackboy seems to be more charismatic with that phone in his hand than Kodak. He seems to be outshining him just with the energy and the Instagram type little shit that the rap dudes do nowadays. He seems to be, dancing around that better than Kodak. Kodak seems to be kind of looking at the phone like, almost like he ain't tapping into that. Or he may not be, but Jackboy seems to be able to, almost like a comedian, like he bouncing around and he own it. He's being very entertaining on these lives. But the words that's being used is what's important. So these boys are at each other throat, and it's a lot being said. We're gonna play a little bit of the video from Kodak, and then we're gonna get in the Jackboy video. We're gonna get in the Boosie on Breakfast Club, and then it might be a wrap after that. Not sure. We'll see what else we want to talk about. But let's play a little bit of this and see what's going on. All right, so we can't find the Kodak Black live that was going on while Jackboy was going on. So what happened was Kodak Black was live in his hood with a whole bunch of snakes and his homies, and speaking about he being snaked by his homeboy, and he, never been. You shouldn't have trusted him, just on that type vibe, just snake vibe. Jackboy was live the whole time talking about it and had a bunch of people. So Kodak Black went off live to join Jackboy live. Here's a clip from Jackboy's live.
That boy said he want appreciation. What you want, someone to marry you? Huh? Oh, what? You signed me for $2,500. Well, I try to give you $300,000. If that ain't good enough for you, fuck, nigga, get in the ring. Get your ass in the ring if that ain't good enough. So, nigga, you talking about this, that. Oh, now you wanna block me. You talking about chop it up with me right quick, brother. You lame. That's the lame shit I'm talking. Why? Why would I do this? Nigga, put him on there. Put the lame man nigga on there.
Put him on that, bro.
Nigga lame as fuck.
Nigga just watched you talk shit, man.
Hey,
what it is?
Don't hang up. Don't hang up in that.
I'm not about to be on this lame.
No.
Hey, so I had your password?
Let's just rap.
I had your password, yes or no? I had your password, yes or no? I had your password? I had your password? Shut your soft ass up, man. Did I whoop you? Hey, did I whoop you when we was just rapping your song?
What's your shit?
Did I whoop?
See, Kodak was trying to talk to him about the specifics, but Jackboy instantly hit the A gap on him. Put him on defense. See, this is how it usually starts, both on offense. Who gonna be the first to go defense? Sometimes you'll see people just repeat the same thing to each other. Now let's just talk. Did I whoop you? Let's just talk. Did I whoop you? Let's just talk. I ain't even responding to that. I know what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Just rapping your song? Did I beat you up rapping your own song before? Did I beat you up rapping your own song before? Keep it Z. Nigga, get a nigga. Did I beat you up rapping your own song before, nigga? What you talking about?
See, it's sad to see, dog. It's sad to see them two boys going at it like that. But the young boys outside like that. The young boys outdoors like that. They ain't holding no yet. They going right up on that gram with it. I done seen shootouts on the gram. I done seen dudes go live and handle it on the gram. That gram they ain't playing on that gram, and they choose the gram to do that. All these platform dudes choose the gram to do that every time. You see what I'm saying? But these dudes here, man, they might get back cool at some point. I don't know, because this is a lot of disrespect, but men are men, and we'll figure it out, or what may happen. Now, if my homeboy that I put on talking to me like that, I got to get him spanked. I got to get him spanked just because, yo, bro, you can't be serious right now. Everybody out the projects I could have grabbed. That, to me, boy, that cut deep.
In the ring, nigga. Or pay somebody. That's what you do, nigga. What you talking about? Set it off. So I can set it off, nigga. That nigga, hey, listen, look, he ready to be so Instagram with it. Man, get on my man. What hoe you want me to add on here? You talking about hoes. I don't care about no hoe. What hoe you want me to add on here? And we gonna ask any hoe if they my bitch. I bet you they tell me they still my bitch. Nigga, what you talk about? Nigga, we dumb shit, nigga. That's why you mad every week. Stop it, Will. Stop it. Man, get a crash dummy. Get a crasher. You gotta get a crash with me. You can't do it. No, I'm not about to argue with you on here. That's why you can't be no boss, cause you ready to hard down argue on here on some lame, on some goofy, on some clown, on some fat. Go on your live and lie. Oh, he ain't do nothing for me while I was in jail. Oh, he ain't. Come on, man. Come on, it's that obvious, man. We can't hide it to them folks. Well, we can't hide it to them people. Well, this is why you hating, yeah. You signed me for one album, Kodak. One album. So when you,
I want to say this for the record. If the dude decide you go to jail, you should hold him down however you can. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey, look,
if he done right by you.
I told the nigga, you can lead the horse. Hey, this one the nigga first blocked me. The nigga wrote, I made you. I told the nigga, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink. The nigga blocked me. That's why you blocked me the first time. He said, I made you. No, you just helped. Look, what type of nigga want to be signed to you? What type of nigga would want to be signed to you? You lame, like. He said, we the reason we met. That nigga lame. Tell that nigga get in the ring so that nigga beat him up. Go eat some food first. I'm telling you, cause nigga hit hard. I don't want to kill you, all. I still love you. I got all type of love for your mom. I don't care what you say. That's still my godson, nigga. That's still my godson, nigga. I just gotta beat his daddy up. That's all. Be like, look, kid, I gotta get your daddy in a little quick headlock. I still love. That's still my godson. Fuck you talking about? I don't want to hurt you, whoa. You my nigga. I'ma beat your like I've been doing, like I've been did. You tripping? You talking about you made me? How, whoa, bro? When I got out of jail, I had $10,000 to my name. How the made me? Cause you tagged me on Instagram. You tagging me on Instagram. I got 600K followers with 10 bands to my name. How you made me? When you went to jail, I made millions. You was the problem. You talking about pull up. You got 100 niggas. You got 100 niggas that'll protect you. You not there. Listen, tag Triller, get in the ring. I'ma pull up to Triller ring. I'ma get in there and whoop you. I'ma whoop you. You got 100 niggas to protect you. You not doing shit. Oh, pull up. You not doing shit. Well, I'm not stupid. I'm smart. That's the difference between me and you. Look at you. Man, so much other niggas out there to compete with. Bro, go compete with all them other niggas. Why you want to compete with niggas you know? That's all you do. Your whole life, you just want to compete with niggas. Why though? It's so much other rappers out there. You feel like you fucking with them, boy? Everybody around here know about that. No, everybody around there know you got clout. Everybody around there know you got money. You're not about your clout and money is gonna give you, nigga gonna give you street cred and just lie about it. Nigga, when the you did something? You and everybody know there that me and dude left somebody else's blood in that hood before. You know that. You know that. You know that. Come on, man. You talking about everybody. No, you have money, whoa. I can't go against a nigga got money. Cause niggas still trying to make it out the hood. So they, oh yeah, he a real ass nigga. You pinching niggas' nipples. You ain't no real ass nigga. You ain't no soldier, nigga. You pinch. Man, I'm glad I ain't was around for that. Then Donald Trump let you out on some wild party. Boy, you ain't about to sacrifice me, boy. I ain't hanging around your ass. You talking about pull up. I don't want to hang out with you, boy. You ain't about to sacrifice. Nah. I'm not making a man. It's my birthday, well. I'm just thinking about little Jackboy. It's his birthday today. Put that little faggot nigga on. He said, I showed DJ how to steal a car. You remember when I was stealing cars? You say you ain't want to hop in, nigga? What is that?
So that you know, they went back and forth, man. And like I say, it's just rough to see these two guys get into it, man. You know, from the inside, it always looked different. You know, when it started coming from the inside, it always looked different. And I think it's received a little different. You know, he's trying to push the NBA YoungBoy. Kodak Black is pushing the NBA YoungBoy beef on Jackboy, basically saying Jackboy, he was in jail. So he said Jackboy had control over what was going on in regards to his Instagram, and some things were posted about YoungBoy being dude's son, and so it kind of started some things. But yeah, man, just unfortunate to see how this is playing out, man. At some point, man, we hope these two dudes be able to sit down and rap, you know. But what do we do with the disrespect? It always places us in an unfortunate situation when we got to do something with the disrespect. But yeah, let's talk about Boosie. A lot of people look at this situation like, you know, rapper on rapper. You know, I be more so examining things like homeboy against homeboy. You know, all the work it took for us to climb out the gutter, get out the pool, dry off. You know what I'm saying? For us to get way up here and jack that off. But to me, like I say, it seemed like Kodak Black is coming off his hurt, man. And when you hurt, when you feel bad, and when you feel like somebody's not done what you expected them to do when they was called on, even though in your mind you thought they'll never be called on, it get rough. You know what I'm saying? I think in Kodak, man, he say, man, listen, you one of the only ones that I really that made something that came through my account. You understand me? And I go do that time and you blow up and get you some paper and I ain't getting nothing. I don't know. Like I say, I do believe if somebody put you in the game and they go to prison or something, like, you got to look out for them. You know what I'm saying? You got to look out for them. I also want to talk about this Lil Boosie interview on Breakfast Club. There's been an ongoing conversation that needs to be had between the LGBT community and the straight black men. There's been some uncomfortable transitions on both sides that's been force-fed one way or another to the type of people that don't really understand what a transition consists of. Now, when we deal with history, we deal with the fact that based on what we thought was true or what we know to be true, there's two different kind of species in hopes to procreate. There's something that takes place between said people, which then keeps this thing going, right? And I think that some people don't understand where the arrested development comes from. And I think they don't understand that the people on the other side don't have all the information. What they do have is that two people from the same sex cannot procreate without the interference from some outside source, right? So that in itself can be scary for some people, right? What does my family tree go? What does my bloodline go, right? Just not understanding it. And if those options are available, we seek to understand. We don't know these things. So that's why these conversations got to be had way more than they're being had. I just lost my YouTube channel for hosting a conversation in which they talked about transgender bathrooms. I said nothing about any of it. I hosted the conversation. So again, understanding is key. Again, with that transition being placed in front of us right now, right? What society is changing, what we know to be the case, just from a standpoint of like bathrooms and things like that, right? That stuff is being altered. And so some people that have these conversations can't communicate their thoughts really well, right? In regards to what am I trying to say? I'ma say it where the hood gonna know exactly what I'm saying. But y'all taking it wrong what I'm saying because I'm not articulating it the best, but I'm just telling you that the transition is some resistance, right? It's some resistance right there in the transition as it is with all things. Change has to have a learning curve. There has to be a curve when change comes, right? So I think you see people dealing with that. It is crazy, not crazy. It's interesting that a lot of people in rap don't really have these conversations. You got to know how to talk to have these conversations. And somebody like me will probably be dumb enough to have the conversation because he thinks he's smart. And then he says the wrong thing because he's trying to bridge the gap and understand and communicate both sides. And then they try to cancel you. But that's the risk we take, over here because we got to provide the content that the people come here for. But we're going to listen to a little bit of the Lil Boosie interview, right? And kind of get a grips as to exactly what's being said and our thoughts on it. Let's listen to it.
was like, who next is trying to get with your pussy? I was like,
Chinese people.
You know, I got people, you know, everywhere trying to make me an uncensored app, you know, and that's what I'm working on right now.
With this up there podcast.
Black owned, you know what I'm saying? Isaac Hayes the third. You can go over there. Yeah, I talked to Isaac Hayes.
Okay.
I talked to the
With this up there podcast.
Whatever, but I ain't made no decision. I won't take everything.
You got a bunch of endorsements, huh? Because even when you sat down, you was like, I don't want to sit with Envy Water because you got your own water.
He didn't say Envy Water. He said, I want to sit with this water. And then he said Envy Water. He said, all right, you can leave it.
Yeah, man, I got water, cologne, chips, noodles. You name it, I do it. That's what I do.
None of them get offended by the stuff you do?
Well, once it's 50-50, hey, what can you get offended by? You know, you invested in Boosie.
With this up there podcast.
I mean, we doing good I do good as an independent. I got a cult following.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do real good, you know, like in the Corona, I was getting checks, 6-7 checks that ain't had nothing to do with rap.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you do take it too far sometimes? Because you said...
I think I say it the wrong way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean everything I say, and I say what I mean. But sometimes I feel like I say it the wrong way sometimes, but I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, and people need to understand that, you know, the world has an opinion, and then I got an opinion, and I'm just one who expressed my opinion.
But last time we spoke, you said that your mama even told you stop volunteering your opinion for things that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Yeah, about that Dwayne Wade.
And you sat down with Mike Tyson and told Mike Tyson you should mind your business sometime too. Why can't you just mind your business sometime?
Because I'm realer than what I'm supposed to do.
What you mean?
I'm realer, like if it's in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because I'm negotiated with him like that doesn't mean I won't say it, because I pay me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't blackball me.
With
I
this
pay
up
me.
there podcast.
You know, even with my music, you know, like my last album I dropped with Connect Music Group.
I talked to y'all last time about Lil Boosie's brand. Boosie has built something that's different than what everybody else has built. What Boosie has built has been a brand that's, it can't go much bigger than it already is, although it's a very huge brand, but it also is going to be sustained by the ghetto no matter what. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about Boosie's brand and you want to try to cancel it, a lot of times you're going to start by wasting your time, because you're going to only promote me, because you're going to go on CNN and talk to people about me. Those people didn't support me to begin with. Those are not the people that I'm invested or have any interest in. So those people that you're telling about these things I'm doing probably are going to come take a look at it because it's on daytime television, right? So I think sometimes it has the adverse reaction. It does the opposite of what they intended to do. Now with the baby, they right now, I checked the numbers before I started pod, and have got him out of the top 30 most streaming artists, and he was always like number 3, 4. A lot of times number 1. He's not even in the top 30 as of this week. So they're working behind the scenes to try to put some of his fire out, but I think his team has already moved to next year, and they'll be ahead of it. Kanye West, speaking of the baby, and I'll get back to this little Boosie interview. Kanye West just dropped Donda album literally while I'm doing this today, ahead of the Drake album. And early in the pod it wasn't out, so it just literally came out. But the baby isn't on that jail song. So this morning, Kanye West tweeted, and I'll put a tweet of it on the screen. This morning, Kanye West tweeted a conversation between him and his manager saying that, hey, the baby's team isn't answering about clearing this record to be on Kanye West's album, you know, going to jail tonight. And when I first saw that, I said, what? But then I should have knew someone right with that. We know that the dude team to be on top of everything, and on top of that, he wanted to do the song with Jay-Z, and this puts him in a place to be on the song with Jay-Z. Now, did Jay-Z make a call behind the scenes? Did someone from Rock Nation? Is there someone trying to block this song, and that's their way of putting it out? Because shortly after, shout out Arnold Taylor, he come out and say, yo, that's cap. Of course, we want to be on the biggest project or one of the, shout out Drake, biggest projects that's out or comes out this year or in the next few years. We don't know the impact of these albums that him and Drake is about to drop. But why wouldn't we want him on that when everybody canceling him to have him a part of the one of the biggest moments? What it could come off like, though, Kanye West, is that I use you for the look, right? To get some more streams or more people to view it for the moment that's going on. But then I still don't place you on there because of the loyalty to whatever situation with Meg or Jay or whatever's being done. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating, but it feels funny that the manager comes out and says, are you serious? I cleared that record in 2 seconds. Why wouldn't I clear the record? And for me, it just came off kind of bad. You see them work hard to try to cancel the baby. They're working on the numbers behind the scenes to bring them down. They probably working to bring his price down. They probably working to bring certain stuff down, right? So, but it's only because you went up there, right? They can't bring you down from being down. So even with them bringing you down says something about where you were at or where you are. But they're going to try their hardest to bring you down. Let's listen to them a little more.
You know, that I'm part owner of. So, you know, like, you it's hard to blackball me, you know, just like they got people, like, they think they got millions of people love what I'm doing. I'm a voice for people who can't speak. You know, I'm just the only one got the nuts to speak in this industry because everybody else is ran by, you know, the industry.
What about even saying like you would beat his ass? So, and I saw Lil Nas X responded to that. You think that's too far?
Nah, because I just be feeling like sometimes I gotta speak up because, you know, as far as straight people in the world, you don't have an opinion no more on sexuality. Everything is harm. If you say anything, I'm straight, I like women, it's vulgar to.
I don't know that's vulgar.
That ain't true. Yes, yes.
No, but I just
you can't brag on.
I just think
smashing
that ain't
on
true.
your sexuality.
I don't
no
think
more.
anybody
It's ran by.
Boosie rappers been talking about fucking women forever in videos and they songs. That ain't changed.
I know it's a different day now. You can't. Just like the baby, like bro, like you know, like how many times you been on set? All y'all DJs, and you heard somebody say, "If you ain't got AIDS, make noise," in the whole club.
Oh no, you're right. That's true. That's true. But it's a different time.
No, it's a different time, and because he's one of the biggest. You know, so they try to make examples out of people. You know, so the next person who blow like this, you gonna go with this, and I feel they're attacking our children. You know, you make you make everybody support this. Who love these rappers?
The kids?
The kids.
Yeah, but
you make every rapper go with it. If every rapper go with it,
I heard
you grab that generation. I know I loved every rapper when I was.
And see what he's saying there is that, and if that's not the case, I hope people can understand the logic behind the statements that's being made, right? The kids love the rappers the rappers are in a situation where it's being viewed like they're being forced into accepting certain things, right? And so whatever the rapper exhibits, the culture adopts, right? Whatever the rapper exhibits, the culture adopts, right? So what he's saying is by default, if I make the baby shut up and him shut up and them shut up and them shut up, then all the kids that listen to them don't view that as being non-traditional. You know, and I'm not sure, we got to have a conversation. Is it wrong to point out that that's that's non-traditional? You see how I'm a professional podcaster. You see how I don't use right, wrong, this, that, that. I use my words very specifically. I am a professional podcaster. So again, it's just trying to understand what's going on. Some people think, hey, they coming for your babies, man. They trying to get your babies. I I don't understand why. And someone, please help me understand. Maybe one of the companies or someone. It seems like sometimes that it's being promoted in certain areas that are kid friendly, and so that's what's scaring people based on what I'm getting from the people out there. Right? They're saying, "Yo, this is a kid friendly spot," and then LGBTQ is being promoted in this area. I don't know that to be the case, and don't understand what the thought is behind that, if that is the case. Not sure. Maybe we can have a conversation with someone and get to the bottom of that. It's another thing that I want to point out, but let's listen to a little more.
Little. Mm-hmm. I loved every rapper. You know what I'm saying? I try to copy what they did. You know what I'm saying? And it's a new day now, and I just feel like, you know, they pushing it on our younger generation.
Listen, I love rap, I love hip hop, I love our culture. But you know, I saw you say that, you know, you feel like he is a negative influence. Why are we acting like rappers haven't been negative influences for years? Whether it's talking about murder, celebrating the drug culture, the gang culture, violence against women, like we just as negative. So how is he the person that you decide to point at and say, "Oh, you're ruining it for the kids"? What have street rappers done to the kids?
I really get offended when it was like he was saying that he would go up there and perform naked in front, you know, all the shit, all the people. And I was like, damn, you know, all these straight people in the world, all these millions of kids gonna watch this, and no straight rapper ain't gonna say, hey, nah, nigga, nigga, we don't want you on that TV. Nobody's not gonna, you know.
Yeah, I don't understand that logic, Boosie. I saw you say that people be trying to be straight. How you try to be straight? If you're straight, you ain't gotta try to be. I don't care.
Run it back again.
On the video, you said people trying to be straight. You said Lil Nas will dance in front of the men, and this, you know, these little boys trying to be straight. I'm like, how you try to be straight?
No, I'm just saying, as far as if you got your kids watching TV,
mm-hmm. And let me help Boosie out in that instance. Charlamagne's a smart guy. I need to speak with one of you really smart individuals that want to talk to the streets about things, right? Because I can dance the same way y'all can dance. Nonetheless, he doesn't mean trying to be straight. What he meant to say is trying to be traditional. When you want to raise your children with traditional values, right? Now, continue.
Would you want, if you trying to straight raise strong young black men, would you be cool with your kids sitting there watching it?
Strong black men not gonna be.
Would you be cool with sitting there, if you trying to raise that, and would you be cool and sitting there watching Nas X go up there and take his clothes off?
What age we talking about?
You're part of the problem.
What age we talking about? Because I don't want my kids looking at anything sexual at a certain age.
Yeah, at a certain age.
You hear that? As I've said that. Go back 10 episodes.
Because by the way,
I'm just saying, this is a national stage. This is a national stage.
Man, Boosie, we grew up seeing worst images on TV, man. We seen dudes on TV holding guns.
See, Boosie, he know what he's saying, but they're poking holes in it from a technical standpoint. So he has to answer these questions more technical, right? And it'll take somebody like me that doesn't know it all. I don't want to act like that, right? Because I don't know it all, and I'm very unaware of a lot of the nuance that's involved with these conversations. But I do understand the technique of what's happening in regards to when we having a conversation about something this serious, this sensitive, and this detrimental to people's feelings in regards to if the wrong thing is said, you know. So it's a dance you got to dance around, man.
Like I said, you know, celebrating violence against women, the drug culture, right, the gang culture,
and all this leads to
with its up there podcast.
My opinion.
I don't
like I can if I feel that way,
mm-hmm.
I'ma say it.
I respect
and
it.
I mean it. You know, like you may not feel that way. They may not feel that way, but I feel that way.
Do you feel like you've ever been a negative influence to the kids?
Yes, I've been a negative influence. Yeah,
okay.
but at the time I was so, I was just rapping my life. You know, I'm just, you know, I wasn't the rapper who rapped the movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I couldn't go in there and rap the movies. I went in there and rap about what happened that day to me, rap about what happened that night to me. You know, so I never thought I was affecting the culture until I came home and damn near all my friends was dead or in jail.
With It's Up There podcast.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I wasn't trying to affect the culture like that as far as negativity. I was just writing my life stories.
Now, question. Now, what about when you see an artist, you talked about rappers, like when you see like Birdman and Lil Wayne kissing each other.
With It's Up There podcast.
You see, you know, Turk talking about some of the stuff that they did, because it's the same thing.
Nah.
Why not?
How them niggas rocking that city, you know, they really on some old mafia shit. You know, like them niggas, you know, them niggas get on them drugs, you know, like them niggas be them niggas different out there, you know what I'm saying? Like Baton Rouge, you ain't kissing nobody. You know, they ain't never been down there, but I done seen niggas in the city, they different. New Orleans, they on some mafia shit. They come from, you know, thinking they mafia made, like the Marcellos and all that shit, you know, like they, you know, so I understand that. I understand that, you know.
Because they're under the same thing. If a kid sees that, they might not understand it and see their favorite rappers kissing each other and be like, okay.
Right.
That's a good point.
I just want you to leave them people alone, Boosie.
Good point
I ain't kicking with nobody.
Yes,
like I don't have
leave people alone, Boosie.
I don't have.
They not bothering you.
Hey, look, bro. Like the people who so-called hate me in the LGBT community, like I don't know them. Like everybody who in my life, my other assistant, a family member, like our gay people, I have good relationships with them. They're great.
But you're not gonna tell. I know they tell you to stop.
You know, but
they tell you to stop. Boosie, do they tell you to stop?
Nah.
You lying.
Nah, real shit. They understand.
All right, so let me ask you this.
They understand. Like they understand.
You do have gay people.
They be like, I wish people really knew that you don't, you know, have, you know,
right, we saw that you took a picture with Flame Monroe, who is trans.
We was talking all downstairs.
Right.
You know, my family is built on legacy.
What about women on women? Do you mind that?
So he's about to speak about now. Would he allow his son to?
I don't mind.
We allow his son to marry someone from the same sex, and he denies it. Let's hear the thoughts on that.
You wouldn't go to the wedding. You wouldn't say I love you anyway.
I would tell her I love her, but I wouldn't go to the wedding.
But you like watching girls with girls, Boosie?
Because you know my family is built on legacy.
Oh, this is dog.
You know, if I let that slide, that shit gonna slide from my son, from my grandson, and I'm gonna lay it down to where they gonna know that you know
I just think life is a lot harder for people who are gay. People don't
gay,
just
you pretty much disowning them. I can't.
No, hell no. I'ma love them to death, but I won't support marriage. I'm not giving my child away to another woman.
You see, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because number one, I do want to be clear and make no mistake about it. There is a lot of things happening to LGBT community people out in the real world, right? They get attacked. They are marginalized. There's a lot happening that places them in situations to feel some of what blacks have been feeling for a long time, you know. With that being said, though, I want you to notice something, right? It's never really the black woman. It's never really the auntie, the sister. It's the black man, right? And I know sometimes it gets rough for people to look and view things from the black man's eyes, and why we see danger in things, and why we see things to be an attempt to try to X us out. We're dealing with a level of trauma as well, right? But I think somewhere down the line, when you deal with black women, you know, they some of the most forgiving, some of the most nurturing, some of the most passionate people, and maybe somewhere along the lines they can feel what the LGBTQ community goes through, right? in regards to the plight, they can kind of share some of what's happening. Because I hear a lot of people ask me like, hey, yo, Loon, why you think black women support the LGBTQ community so much? And, you know, we know our sisters and our queens are like, they're forgiving, they're lovers, they're passionate, persistent, you know. So they have a level of compassion that very few humans have. And also it could be from back in the day when they've been forced to accept things and look over things and let things go and get through things, right? But for some reason people are viewing that and seeing it, and they don't really understand why or what is it. And I would love to have a conversation, and you can't do this with one black woman because her saying won't be the end all be all. But I would love to have a bunch of black women sitting down and just kind of comb through what that's about and how that presented itself, right? Because they have support from our women. Our women support them. Our men support them, you know. We don't want anyone being harmed or hurt or attacked because of who they choose to lay down with. We also want to protect our families and our children and things like that. So your personal business is always your personal business. We respect it from that standpoint. But some of black men are in this place where non-traditional, the transition from the non-traditional lifestyle to what now is the traditional lifestyle is catching some of the black men in a state of shock, and it has them thinking like, oh, it's danger, they gonna X us out, we're not gonna, you know, next thing you know, our families and this and that. I mean, I'm telling you what I'm being told, right?
So you know, I would love her to death, you know, but I'm not. I don't want to start that. You know, as me, I have the right to do that. As parents, we have the right to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody parent different, but as parents, once that child come out, you make those decisions, and that's what the world need to know. Like,
Boosie, you're right. You're entitled to your opinion. The only thing I disagree with is the fact that you say Lil Nas X is a super negative influence on the kids. And you said something earlier. You talked about, you know, when you came home, a lot of your fans was in jail or dead. So when you say things like, you know, you want to beat up Lil Nas X, you could possibly be encouraging violence against gay people, man. So that's what I would tell you to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't encourage, because they are 4 times more likely.
But that's what I'm saying. So don't even.
I just told you, like, gay people not after me in the real world.
So they're suggesting the fact that because he said that if you were at a show and you get naked on stage and I'm there, I'm gonna snatch you off the stage because there's kids watching. They're suggesting just by Boosie saying that someone may go and harm Lil Nas X, which they're explaining a hate crime. So they're basically saying that what Boosie is doing, the response to that could be a hate crime, and he could possibly be accountable for it.
Like, you know, like, this is just social media. The world did this. Gay people don't, in the real world, you know, they even have gay people at my concerts, like, all, like, bro, like, in the real world, you know, people respect me for, you know, standing up, and they gonna take me a long way in life. You know, regardless if ain't nobody other rapper spoke about it, you know, like.
But I'm saying
that singles me out.
You could be encouraging violence against gay people. He even said,
I'm not I never said. I know.
You said you wanted to beat him up.
No, for going up there and you know, he wanted to get naked. And if I was there at the awards on the front row and he got naked right there, I would drag him.
I don't think anybody should get naked at an award show.
If a straight person got on the stage naked, you would do the same thing.
Of course.
A straight person.
If he wasn't gay, you saying a straight person got on stage, you would do the same
fucking thing. Right. If he got naked, I would fuck him up. You know.
So it's not about being gay. Don't get naked on an award stage.
You don't get naked on a with children. You want your children to see pussy? Come on, bro.
So you feel like that about the women who go up there and do that too, then?
Who get naked on the
yeah, or who do get naked, dance sexually, do sexual stuff on stage?
You ain't finna turn this around on those strippers on me.
Man, what is you talking? You gonna have all the strippers, man.
I need my strippers. They already trying to beg me. You know I need my strippers. No down talk on the strippers.
Have they tried to ban you from shows and concerts like you seen with the baby? Have they tried to with you?
Nah. You know, my shows are even packer than ever. Like, you know, you can't ban me. Like, you know, like I'm not part of those festivals that you can take me off. You know, I do my own festivals. I do a birthday bash in Mississippi. I'm throwing this year. I do my Boosie bash. You know, that's August 28th coming up, and I make crazy. Bro.
You remember? We all remember that Coke can in the video, the Coke can in the shower video. Remember you did that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did the Lil Nas X video make you think of that situation?
Nah. That was just a situation with me, you know, coming to the pen and not knowing the rules, you know. Mm-hmm. So okay. I got my eyes bust just not knowing the rules.
I just don't like to see brothers causing themselves unnecessary stress, and I don't like us causing unnecessary stress to people. That's all, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are free to be who they are. Because, look, you have people in your life who are gay, people who work with you. You have family members.
Right.
And you have no problem taking pictures with people if they're gay.
Right.
So the thing that bothers you is the representation on
kids.
Television. Is that what it is?
Yeah, television bothers me. When I came home from jail, it bothered me. You know, I was like, God.
So it's television, you know, and like, you know, kids,
eyes, like,
having the LGBTQ stuff in them areas.
Kids, you know, they're gonna be stirred that way. In this day and age, they're gonna really be stirred that way. You know, if I just feel like we gotta.
I just feel were gay before.
You know,
television.
but everybody wanna be. Everybody got the right to what they wanna be. If you wanna have your kids gay, you can have your kids gay. If you want to protect your kids from being gay, you have that right.
Well, I don't know that you want to have your kids gay. It's just that if your kids are gay, they're just gay. Because I do think life is harder for you if you are gay. Because there's a lot of 4 times the chance of violence more than the average person.
See, that's
and
another word we don't have to.
LGBT.
Hey, yo, hold on. That's a word we don't have to use. This is not the oppression Olympics. You know, life is harder for you if you're gay. I'm not sure if life is harder for anyone than a black male, right? I don't know. Now, gay black male, that's what they'll probably talk about, but I don't know that to be the case. And let's not immediately draw those type of conclusions without any sort of real evidence, right? When you say 4 times more likely to be attacked, we gotta ask by who. When you see these statistics are done by focus groups, right? So whatever the outcome they want to happen, they look for the information. They look for the information to coexist with the outcome that they want to present to the people. So you got to understand that about statistics too.
Community. So I do think you make your life harder. So I don't think anybody's like, I just want to be gay because I've seen it on TV. It's how you feel. Because I've never kissed a woman. I've never done any of those things. And I see it all the time. But that doesn't mean I want to do it. Because I think you have to feel like that's who you are to be able to relate to that. I don't think.
Was you raised not to do it?
I wasn't raised anyway because I've been around. I'm from New York. So I've seen it all. And I have friends who are gay. I have friends who are trans. But it's never made me say that's what I want to be.
Okay.
You think people are born gay, or you think they?
I don't know.
He has no idea.
I don't know. I don't. Not
right,
a gay,
and you've
I'm not
seen
a
it
gay,
too, and it doesn't make you want to say.
I'm not a gay spologist or whatever. You know.
What?
But you've seen a.
You know, a doctor.
What about the We TV show? I heard you had a We TV show, but they pulled it.
Nah, I was doing a reality show and
so that's just some of it. Y'all can go check out the rest of it. Not sure. I don't think we got nothing else we need to speak about today. Let me see. Not necessarily that we just have to speak about. We'll see y'all next week. It's Up There Podcast. Yeah. We'll see y'all next week. It's Up There Podcast. Subscribe. Go get you some merch. Go to Patreon. Follow Instagram, FOGFO TV, the new one on YouTube. It's Up There Podcast on YouTube. It's Up There Podcast on Patreon. It's Up There Podcast on Teespring. Make sure you tap in. Show some support. Appreciate everybody that's tapped in. It's 100 and 200,000 people that listen to this. We appreciate y'all. Y'all the biggest fans. Y'all the biggest supporters. We couldn't do it without y'all. We building the YouTube back up right now as we speak. Share it with somebody that'll share it with somebody. The biggest one.
This is not the Joe Budden Podcast. This is not $1 million worth of game. This is not the Brilliant Idiots. This is It's Up There Podcast with Looney.
With It's Up There Podcast.